I'm gonna take it off for a second. I'd like to thank everyone for attending the meeting tonight. And we'll call the meeting to order at 7:01 p.m. And if we could have a roll call, just if you are muted, can you at least say your name or something so we know and you have a response? Joyce?
Joyce Riley.
Dan?
Conrad?
Gloria?
Gloria's here, nodding.
Kathy?
Here.
Debbie?
Debbie DeBacco here.
Who am I missing? We got Betty Sue. We have Megan. And me. I think that's it, right?
Mhm.
And Anitris Bennett is excused tonight. And Dan Conrad said he would have to be leaving early at 8:30. And at this time, I'd like to do a pledge to the flag. So if everyone can stand up and say a pledge to the flag.
I pledge it. I pledge to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
For which it stands,
one nation
If-
under God, indivisible,
visible,
with
liberty and justice for all.
for all.
Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. And we'd have to review and adopt the agenda. Do we have any, did everyone get the agenda, additions to the agenda?
Yeah.
Any correct?
I would like to add to review and approve approval of the budget for 2021
Okay,
as a separate item.
all right.
This is Gloria, and I would like to add that we should start looking at the nominations and elections for the upcoming year. We usually start that process in January.
Okay. Those are added. I will add the nominations and elections. I'm gonna put that under new business. And where would you like the adoption of the budget put?
Right after we go through the approval of the minutes.
Okay. All right. And do we have a motion to adopt the agenda with the corrections and additions?
I move that we adopt the minute with the changes.
Do I have a second?
I'll
The
second.
agenda, yeah.
And that was a second by, I saw Gloria and Dan.
Your choice.
I'll let Megan decide that. At this time, we are going to go into executive session, but Mr. Magnuson would like to make a comment to everyone who has joined us for tonight's meeting.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Just please do not log out. I am going to move everyone into the waiting room that is not a board member or someone who is present during the executive session. I will let you back into the meeting as soon as the executive session has ended. Just to let everyone know, I will be leaving the room. My account will still be running as I am running the meeting, but I will be leaving the room until Linda gives me the okay to come back in. But please, if you are a member of the public and you are watching the meeting, do not log out. You will be moved back into the meeting as soon as the executive session has ended. Thank you.
Mike, thanks again for all your work that you've done with the Zoom meetings. and
Absolutely.
Keeping everything up to date. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you all. That means a lot.
So Mark, back from executive session at 8:01. Are we all set? Not
We
yet.
are all set.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Welcome, everyone, for coming back. At this time, we have the public forum opportunity. I don't have anything. I don't know if anyone that's joined us has anything they'd like to offer. I'm not hearing anything. We're going to move to the election of officers. So I'd like to make a nominate or motion to elect a new president? I vote for Joyce. I have no hand. There it is. I'd like to nominate Joyce Riley.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Mm.
All right, everyone, thank you. And now we have, I don't know if Joyce, we want to take it over now? It's your meeting?
Usually.
Yay! I'm done. I'm out.
Well, I'm gonna, well, first of all, I'm gonna say thank you to all of you. It really is an honor and a privilege to be a part of this board, recognizing that there's so much talent around this board. And I would like to start off before we go to the Vice President Secretary, is just to read to everyone what our mission statement is so that we stay focused on why we're here, so that we always stay focused on the business of the library and not any personal stuff get in the way of us doing the job that we know that we can do very well. The mission statement says, the Hoag Library enriches and empowers the people of its community by promoting access to ideas and information and supports lifelong learning and love of reading. The library provides relevant materials, ensures equal access to information services, and promotes cultural and learning experiences through programming. That's our charge, that's our mission. That's what we come here once a month to make sure that we do. With that in mind, recommendations for Vice President.
I would like to nominate Dan Conrad for Vice President.
Dan Conrad has been nominated. Any second? Any other nomination? Anyone else wants to put their name in the ring for Vice President? I would like, I don't know if I can do this, correct me if there is a expert in parliamentary procedure, but I would like to second Dan's nomination.
I can second it.
Thank you. Thank you. Linda will second Dan's nomination. Are there any other nominations? All in favor of Dan for Vice President? Say aye.
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 Dan is VP. Secretary.
Nominate Linda.
Nope.
Linda, what are you saying?
I'm saying nope.
Nope.
Okay. Okay, Linda does not want the nomination. Is there anyone else willing to accept the nomination? Remember now, Megan does the initial
I don't need
review
it.
that she sends out, and you'll just be reviewing it and updating it to make sure for accuracy.
Now, do you think Anitris would want it, even though she's not here?
Can we nominate someone that's not here?
I know she doesn't want it.
She does, I do. too.
Okay.
She doesn't. want
What about you, Debbie?
Oh, boy. I was talking to Gloria, I was explaining the, just some of the work stuff that I have that goes way beyond, normal business hours. I worked all day Saturday, all day Sunday. But if it's just, I mean, are you really saying that it's just Megan's doing the notes and I would be just going over
You
it?
just go over it, and you might wordsmith it. You don't have to do, you're not writing a novel. You're just making sure that it accurately reflects in it. And it doesn't have to be extremely wordy. Our big thing is making sure that the motions are correct, because the motions are the things that we that's what we're acting on. We're acting on the motion, so the motions need to be correct. That's the biggest thing.
So before I say okay, I see Kathy and Gloria. Is there either one of you that, no? How about Kathy?
I'm sure.
No, I thank you for asking, but if you're willing to do it, I think that would be great.
Big chicken.
I know. Sorry.
Debbie, do you really not want to do it? I'll do it for the remainder of 3 months if you truly don't want to do it.
Or is that something that Debbie could do for 3 months to see how it goes
Right,
and then elect again at the next annual meeting in May? Well,
Right.
I'm sorry,
Or-
this is not my place.
maybe what we can do is if Debbie will do it for the next couple of months, and we'll see, because we are gonna have to look at someone come in and fill in for the next few months to see if there are any candidates that would like to come and serve on our board to fill out Carrie or Terry's term.
All right, I'll tell
Well,
you
not
what,
until the next election.
if it turns out that I suck at this job, you guys will let me know, right?
First thing,
All right.
I would like to say Debbie will be good at this job because a lot of times I have Debbie proofread. She's very good at that. And
yes,
and I also would like to say, because after the annual meeting, you're going to be electing officers again anyway.
Right.
So it
Right.
just makes sense for Debbie to take, if she accepts to take this position until the next annual meeting, instead of all these different changes.
Mhm.
That's just how I feel.
so we have on the table Debbie DeBacco for secretary. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All
Aye.
opposed? Abstention? Thank you. Debbie is now our new secretary.
Joyce, did we get a second on that?
Oh,
Did-
that's right. Who would like to,
Dan?
so Gloria recommend and Dan is second.
And Megan wrote that down, so I know that that's what's happening.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right. Thank
Right.
you. Okay, the next on the agenda is the review of the minutes from December 9th and December 16th. For the meeting for December 9th, are there any corrections or questions? I actually had one in regarding to the COVID kind of sign-in sheet. It says Dan made the motion to amend the previous motion to also include 3 basic questions. What were those questions?
Oh, geez, I didn't do that.
Huh? Because it did not include those 3 questions?
I just put out the slips for people to fill out with contact information.
Okay.
I don't think, let me look, I have one right here.
What were, Dan, unmute.
Oh, yeah, no, they're here.
Oh,
They're
okay.
here.
What were those
Have you
3
been in
questions?
close proximity? Have you tested positive? Have you experienced any symptoms? So the 3
Okay.
questions are on there.
Oh,
Okay?
okay. Thank you. And
Mhm.
the other thing is just a correction with dates and times on that last sheet. On the upcoming meetings and events, it had
Yeah.
regular October, it's regular January meeting for the 13th and not the 9th. I know that's just an oversight. Anything else that needs to be changed or updated?
Hey, Joyce, can you repeat that for Megan?
On the last page for of the meeting minutes, it says regular October board meeting, January 9th. It should be regular board meeting, January 13th, which is today. That would be the correction on that.
Thank you.
Are there any other corrections? I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for December 9th. Linda, a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. The next is a emergency meeting on December 16th, 2020. Are there any issues or changes to that meeting? It's pretty straightforward. A motion to, a motion to accept, thank you. Second, Linda. Linda was made the motion, second for the motion.
I'll second.
Debbie second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Now the next, everyone, Betty Sue sent out the budget for 2021. And actually we started working on the budget back in September. And I think that I'm just gonna highlight a couple of things. Betty Sue, feel free, and you also, Gloria, to mention anything that you feel is a good highlight. I
Joy,
think, yes.
Joy, excuse me. We gotta approve the treasurer's report.
Oh, that's right, and I had it here. Treasurer's report. You want to give that, Gloria?
I think everybody received this.
Yes.
I believe everybody received that. So as normal, they just look at it and then we just make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to make a motion?
Well, anyone has any questions or anything in regards to the treasurer's report?
Yes. Does anyone have any questions?
Okay.
Any further discussions? A motion to accept the treasurer's report?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Now, now we can go to the budget. Did everyone get the budget and look it over? Look it over. This coming year, it is anticipated that we will be. We have a new line for Hoopla. The whole library materials and books underwent a renovation because we're finding out that there's more need for internet access, et cetera. For the coming year, we're going to have to pay as opposed to Nioga doing some of that payment. Is that correct, Betty Sue?
Yes, Nioga's budget, I just received an email yesterday, and their budget has been reduced by the anticipated 20%, which means by next year it could be down by 40%. And in addition to laying people off, one of the places they thought that they could make a difference was in having individual libraries pick up their Hoopla costs, because they range widely from the little libraries to the big libraries. And we're somewhere in the middle. So the finance committee knows, and you can see it in my notes, that I think that everything that we do for materials needs to be looked at as one unit and then divided out from there, because our circulation of physical items is down, but our circulation through Overdrive and Libby and Hoopla, which we will now be paying for, are up. So I think this is part of the trend of what is happening. And I've just given you way more than I needed to. I apologize.
No, that's not. It's never too much information. Also, a new line item for this coming year is COVID-19 with all the sanitizing equipment and supplies that we've had to buy. And for the foreseeable future, we know that we're going to need it at least for this year coming up. We've also separated out some of the contracts from one another so that we can get a better idea of how we're paying for some of these items. The last one that I want to bring your attention to is the last line, the emergency, but we're calling it the contingency / capital repairs, because we're anticipating, just like with the last year when we had an unexpected expense with the HVAC, since we're dealing with an aging system, we need to feel prepared to address the HVAC or any other major repair coming this year. Are there any other questions? Are there any questions regarding the budget that can be answered by any of the members of the Finance Committee?
The only comment I would like to make is that this budget was done before the last meeting. And when I asked if I should send it out to the board members with the notes, I was told no. So this would have been done in plenty of time to move forward. And I'm sure that next year it will be.
Yes, it will.
Are we still getting the free hand sanitizer from the state? Oh, it doesn't
Yes.
show up on there. That's kind of cool.
It's because it's free.
When you turn it just right, we can't see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, do that again. Oh, wow. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes, we are still getting it. When we start to run low, I call EMO and ask Lori Grube if we can still get it. And she usually that day drops us off a couple more gallons.
That's nice because that's a huge savings for the.
Oh my
library.
God, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yep.
And where
Are
do we
there-
get,
And
and
this is mine, by the way. I brought this with me.
Okay. Gloria, what did you ask?
where do we get the hand sanitizer from?
From Emergency Management Organization,
Oh,
under Dale Banker and Justin Niederhofer.
yes.
This is the hand sanitizer that is being put together in the prison system. So as long as the prisoners continue to fill the bottles, I think nonprofits and government agencies will continue to get it.
Thank you.
We'd like to recommend a different smell, but we'll take it.
Thank you.
Yep,
I love the smell of it. So
you're weird.
it's great.
Mhm.
Can I ask a question since
Yes.
keep thinking I'm still new? The board expenses, who is this Terry
Oh, Terry
BIRO?
Bureau. Terry Bureau, she is our contract cleaning service.
Okay.
And she's been with us as long as I've been here. But no, you wouldn't have any reason to know that. And it would be good when somebody comes on the board if you remind me
An
in the
orientation.
spring to list all the principal players so that everybody knows who they are. So thank you, Debbie, and I'll count on you to remind me.
But now there's only the 2021 numbers, right? So there's nothing for, like, you don't have, like all the other ones have budget, actual budget.
Correct. If there is nothing in the line prior to this year, then the line is new. And one of the things that they wanted changed, that Joyce just tried to explain, was under HVAC, for example, we had all of the expenses related to the heating and cooling system. The recommendation was made by the committee to separate it out so that contracts were listed in one place and then the repair part of it was listed someplace else because they're two completely separate type
Right.
items. It's okay. I'm not sure I love it, but I certainly do get that you can look at your contractual issues differently than you can look at the others. So that's where some of the changes have come from. And if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to call me.
Exactly.
Okay.
Any other questions?
One of the other lines that was added this year I don't believe we had it in for last year. It was local history. There used to be a local history line, but it got eliminated a number of years ago. In the past year or so, I've had Dee doing a lot more work in local history, trying to get it organized better so that eventually when a local history committee is put together, they have a starting point and where they want to go. And she's asked for a couple of books that relate to people who were of local interest or in how to build and maintain local history and archive collections. So it made sense to have that in a line of its own.
Okay.
Okay, and what, so I don't know acronyms, so ALMS user fees?
Alms fees.
So
That's
it's a real
another one.
word?
We'll do names and alms. Alms is the automatic library something system. It's our circulation system that Nioga runs.
Okay. Last question, since I really got you. R. Wells
good.
Harrison, who is that person?
R. Wells Harrison was a businessman who lived in Albion for many, many years and owned a car dealership. And when he died, he left money to the library. What you see in the R. Wells Harrison is the interest of what he gave each year. So it does go up and down every year.
You're gonna be sorry you asked me to start talking.
No, not at all.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad that you asked those questions because I'm sure if you didn't know, a lot of us didn't know as well. So we
Right.
appreciate that.
And there were ones on there, Debbie, that I didn't know when I started.
Okay.
Are there any other questions or comments regarding this budget? Now, we just need to remember that this is a document forever in progress, that there'll be, lows and highs on some of these things as the year progresses. And we'll constantly be looking at it if it needs to be modified in any way, and we'll keep the board appraised of those changes. So
Can
are
I
there
ask,
any more?
can I
Yes.
ask a question? What is the next step after we approve the budget tonight? I believe you have to present it to the school, Betty Sue, or what do we have?
I have to file it with the school to be included on the tax levy at the May election. So they don't need they don't get the whole budget, though they could, I don't care. What they get is the amount of the school levy that you can see at the top portion of the budget.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, and that has to be into them.
Right.
I want to say February 10th, 14th, something. So this is why it has to be done tonight.
Yes, it
So
has to be
that
done
that can
tonight.
get to them. Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Any more questions or feedback or discussion regarding the budget? I would like to entertain a motion to accept the budget.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget.
Linda, and second with Dan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Thank you. Committee vacancies. Open for discussion. Does anyone have anyone to suggest for a committee vacancy?
I do have a correction on the Elections and Nomination Committee. Debbie was put on that committee in September. I went back and looked in the minutes because, so it's Anitra.
Gloria,
Yeah,
Gloria, let's wait till we get to committees. Let's,
I thought we were talking about committees vacancies, and I was just making a correction.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, that's it. I was just saying, I noticed that Debbie's name wasn't under that committee. It was just Anitra's listed, but
For elections, the
yes,
nomination,
yes.
okay. I think I put her name down.
Yeah, it's on the last page that I
All
sent,
right.
the information only who was on. committee.
Okay.
So my question now is, do we have any people that are interested from the community in completing the vacancy left by either Terry or Carrie?
Let me see.
I would like to be on the finance committee if possible.
Okay, you want to be on
Yes.
finance? That would be great. Dan?
Yeah,
Just Debbie, I mean, not Debbie, Joyce. I would
Yes.
like to say, I think it would be good that Linda's on the finance committee.
I do too.
Remember that the finance committee, the treasurer and the president, they're automatically, it's in the book.
Right, and so,
Automatically
right,
on the finance committee plus one other person. So this
and that
will.
will be Linda.
Mhm.
So we'll be good. So Linda's on finance. And Dan? Yes,
I just would like to say I unfortunately have to leave the meeting right
okay,
now. But
Dan,
if somebody could email me,
can I put you on a committee where we have a vacancy? I know
Yes.
you're on planning, but I would like to get you on one more. So I'll see how it,
yes,
Okay.
just send me an email and let me know.
I will send you an email.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you
Good
very
night,
much for
Dan.
coming,
Bye, Dan.
Dan. And thank you for your support.
And can I just make a suggestion, and I'll try to be quiet, but it's hard. When it comes to the personnel committee, right now I'm on the committee and Debbie's on the committee.
yes.
And I would just think it would be wonderful if we could get
Kathy?
Kathy on that committee. I think she would really be a great help on that committee.
Kathy, Ms. Harlan, you think you could be on that committee?
That's fine, yes.
Thank
Which
you
one
so
is
much.
that? Is that personnel? or
Personnel,
planning?
uh-huh.
Personnel, okay.
Linda, did you send the committee meeting people to me?
Yeah,
I
it's
know I got it, but I'm trying to find it. So
at the
I
end-
sent
it's
it.
at the end of the agenda under
Oh.
additional info. So it's not technically supposed to be included on the agenda, but since we were talking about it tonight, I wanted to include that so everyone had that handy.
Right,
perfect. Thank you. I see it.
okay.
It's one of those things that everyone always misplaces, so it was just
I know.
easier to include it.
Okay, so let me just go over this real quickly since we're doing committees. So the ad hoc committee on COVID is Dan Conrad and myself. That can stay like it is for now.
I can-
Buildings and ground is Anitris and Linda. Finance is Gloria and Linda. And local history, Linda and Kathy.
I would like to be removed from local history.
Yes,
Mhm.
I can do that.
I've been on that forever and I just have,
Actually,
Yeah.
local history is not one of the
Correct.
standing committees that's listed in our bylaws. So for now, no one needs to be on local history unless we have an issue and we can do an ad hoc meeting for local history to deal with the issue.
I like the way you think.
So
Okay.
that's going to be similar to the COVID committee then? It
It's
will
going to be similar to
called
COVID.
as
It'll
needed.
only be me if we
Perfect.
have an issue, then we'll
Okay.
find people to address the issue.
Okay,
Joyce, where we stand with that, I just want to bring this out. When our past board president had reached out to, I believe, Dee Robinson and who was it?
Will Hooper, or
You,
Will Hooper.
no, I'm like, oh my God, CW, Bill Latin.
Bill Latin, to be on the local history committee. So I don't know where you want to go with that. I'm just
So my
throwing that out
question,
there.
my question is, do you know if anyone responded?
Well, I talk to Dee every day, or every
Okay.
day that she works. And Bill is in here every Wednesday winding and watering. So we
So-
talk about it, and he would not be at all upset to know that, well, we'll call him when we need him.
We'll
Okay,
call when we need.
Okay?
Right. That
okay,
sounds good.
good.
So that takes care of that. Now nominations and elections, we have Anitris, Debbie, DeBacco and Debbie DeBacco, those two.
And usually you haven't needed any more than two. It's a short term. And
It's
the
it's
forms
quick.
are all in Barb's office for what has to be done on the timeline. It's a pretty cut and dry.
And
Uh-huh. And Debbie, if you need me to do something for you with that, if you're busy at work, I'll be more than happy to step in and help,
Great.
okay?
And
Okay,
Debbie,
thank you.
and Debbie was on that committee last year, I
Yes.
believe.
Yeah.
The Personnel Committee is Gloria, Debbie Bacco, and Kathy Harlan. And the Planning Committee was Dan Conrad. Linda, are you still interested in that?
Yeah, I can be on it.
Okay, because that's like where all the policies and stuff are coming up out of there that we're reviewing and everything. And I'll be happy to work with you and Dan on that as well. My only thing is for the people that are on the committees, if you can send out emails and before the end of February and definitely by March to have met at least once. I think Betty Sue sent out a sheet that outlined some potential issues that you may want to address, or you may have others that you want to address and go over.
Actually, Joyce, if I can interrupt, the list I sent out came out of the handbook.
Okay,
That those are the items that the committees are charged with talking about, discussing, whatever. It doesn't mean they can't be added to.
right,
But that came from the handbook,
right.
so it was a reasonable place to start.
Oh, no,
So-
I think that's great. But
So
but
what
like
I
I said,
did most recently was send out that with the current committee members. After we get the notes, do you want me to put that sheet together as one
yes,
item again and resend it? Now,
yes,
as
that
far
would
as
be
you are
awesome.
concerned, Joyce, the only committee you must be on is finance.
Right,
So I would list your name as finance, but at the top, I would say, as president, you may attend all committee meetings.
right.
Does that work?
That will work for me. And I think any committee that wants me definitely to be there for support or as a resource, I will be more than happy to be there to be supportive and to assist in any way that I can.
Okay, thanks. I'll get
Okay.
that out before the week's done.
Okay, awesome. Now let's go to the director's report.
Did anybody have any questions?
The questions I had from your director's report,
Right,
I had put on under new business.
under new business. That was the line wire thing?
Yes,
Okay. And,
And I put the website
yep,
flourish.
and the EV chargers under old business from your.
okay. And then there is nothing that you need from me unless you have questions, except that
One-
under the spot where I said Teresa had created the guidelines for our reading program for the winter. She wanted me to make sure that I mentioned that she and Elizabeth worked together on that. So I thought that was a very commendable thing. And again, I will thank Joyce because the idea came from one of the newsletters that she sends to me that come from her Washington DC.
My library in DC, yeah.
And we also have picked up another couple of little tidbits. So anytime you see something like that that looks good or somebody's website, please send them off because you never know what we're going to steal.
Right.
So thank you.
Mhm. And thank you. The committee reports, building and grounds, nothing. Executive committee has not met yet. Finance committee, Gloria, can I ask you to do that? The finance committee report.
Mhm.
I should
You're
have
on
followed
mute,
it.
Gloria.
Oh,
Um,
I was gonna ask you to do it, Joyce.
Well,
I gotta find mine.
Wait a minute.
I did send out a report. If
Yes,
anybody
you
have any-
did.
Yes, if anybody have any
Did
questions.
everyone read the report?
Yep.
Yes,
That being said, and I'll go directly to the motions.
Oh, here it is, right?
After discussion with, just to highlight that Info Advantage did an audit at the end of the year and found that they had overcharged us by $4,125, and they are going to send that back to us in the form of a check for
it's
transparency.
already in the mail.
And we already discussed the large bill from the lawyers, and we've done the budget.
Right.
So now we have two motions. The first motion is that the Finance Committee recommends that Barb Kyler transfer $35,000 from Morgan Stanley Smith and Barney Operating Fund to meet January expenses and payroll. Specifically $15,000 to Community Bank for monthly expenses and $20,000 to 5 Star for payroll.
I'll make a motion. Or I'll
Second.
second it, I guess, because it came from committee.
That's right.
That's
Oh, we
right.
don't need one,
So
that's right.
that's right. Move to what is it?
Expenditures.
Accept.
Yeah. A motion, move to accept. I'm getting tongue tied. Thank you.
It's
Let
late.
us
It's
accept
getting
the
late.
motion.
I
Yeah,
think you're down to all those in favor.
all those in favor. I like that one. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay. Abstain? Okay, great. The next one is that Finance Committee recommends approval of deposits and expenditures by the Hoag Library from December 9th, 2020 to January 12th, 2021. Those were the expenses that you have reviewed in your packet that was sent showing detailed expenditures. And I'm gonna actually, it was a question I had that I'm just gonna go ahead and share with you. When I looked at the 5 Star payroll, and I kept seeing the word split,
Oh,
the question was, what does split mean? And as Barb and Betty Sue explained, that the split meant that they were charged, it was for that amount, but it was charged to multiple accounts. So it's not that it was split, it went nowhere. It was, that indicates that it was multiple accounts in that money that was either paid out or bought in. Does that make sense? So to help you understand what was going on with the budget part. Are there any questions regarding that motion? Motion to approve. Linda, second.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 All opposed? Abstention? Yes. Next on the list.
Nominations.
Friends of the Library. Is there anything from them, Betty Sue?
I think just what I put in my report, they won't be meeting again until March,
Okay.
but they're going to be looking for information on trying to do something with the brick section out front to at least have signage that says what it is, and maybe have a bench or a tree or something for a reflection area. But I will keep you apprised of that.
Okay. Next is old business. EV charger.
EV chargers. Did I send you out the information on this? Okay. When I talked with the EV charging solution people, They are not installers. They are people who make this work. Chances are, using them, they're going to end up giving the contract to Go Forth Electric regardless. So whether we do it or whether they do it, but they file all the paperwork and do all this gobbledygook. It is really quite wonderful. The thing they have to do, however, is do everything with prevailing wage, which was not what Go Forth was doing. So they had to revise their bid to show prevailing wage, which is 13,000, where the other one was only like 8 something. But the extra money that EV chargers can get from other sources will knock it down to a total. I think I sent you a little add-on at the last minute today, because I got off the phone with the guy at EV charging and sent it off. Did anybody get that little email?
I got the one with the two amounts that showed everything, the two. quotes.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. What you can see on that is the amount that would be charged, the amount that, yeah, the only thing I didn't do is copy it off for myself. He was really encouraging us to go for 2 units, which would be a total of 4 chargers. And I just don't think we're ready for that. I don't think there are that many. And when I talked to Nathan London, he agreed with me. And we said, by the time that somebody besides Linda brings both of her cars and 2 other people show up, then there'll be new technology, and there will be opportunities to get payment for that. So for now, I would not recommend doing more than the 1 unit with 2 chargers. So what I would really like to do is have permission to go ahead and do that.
Okay.
What
Would
is-
someone,
What is the cost?
are there
of
any,
it?
are there any questions regarding what Betty Sue just said?
Yeah, I'll pull up the.
The only question I would have, I mean, it's only what, a $700 difference?
I don't know.
Yes,
I mean, for 2 more, if we went to install 2 more later, if we ever thought about it, you're talking thousands of dollars.
sure.
more.
You're absolutely right. Do you think
Yeah.
do you think it will be in the foreseeable future that there would be a call for 4?
I don't know, but the cost difference is so low that if we're,
That's sort of what the guy from EV Charger said to me.
it's kind of one of those, do you spend a little more? And if we, I don't know.
Mhm.
Well,
I'm just looking at the cost to install it and $700 for additional one.
yeah, you were doing the whole thing
Now-
for less than $2,000. I get
Yes.
it. And
Okay,
our name will go into any publications that list where EV chargers are, which gives us a good boost there. It will go into, what am I trying to say? Tourism information and things like that. It'll go into the things that the Canal Corps puts out for people who are traveling along the canal routes. So we will get publicity from this. And so I guess the bottom line is we can install 1 for a total of $1,272, or we can install the 2 for $1,924. And I will defer to whatever the board tells me you want to do. I just would like permission, while there's still money in that state pool,
right.
to go ahead and get this done.
And that was my next question, Betty Sue. So you said money in the state pool. Is that like a grant we're going to be receiving for this?
Well,
or-
the grant is gone. But when I talked to the state, it had to be done by October. And if you'll remember, this was pretty much set to go last spring. And then I don't know what the hell happened.
Okay.
But we sort of dropped the ball on it. So by the time, well, part of it was the state because of COVID, they shut down.
Right.
Then
Right.
by the time we got back to it, the timeframes ran out and blah, blah, blah. When I called the state, their recommendation was to go ahead and do this and then file for the reimbursement. And I said, oh, really? We're thinking the state is good for this? It just made me very nervous.
Mhm.
And he looked up while I was on the phone with him and says, right now, the pool of money for reimbursement for EV chargers is over $7 million. But when I talked to the EV charge solution guy the other day, he said it's going quick. And he recommended not spending a lot of time on it. Now, that may be partly because he just wants to get it done, but there just is no sense in possibly losing it.
Okay, feedback from Kathy and Debbie.
So I don't have an electric car. I was not for it. But if I think the prevailing, if I'm looking at the next president that is very, going towards getting away from fossil fuel and everything. And if there's only a very small difference between 1 versus 2, then my thought would be do the 2. I agree with what Linda was saying. That
Yes,
Me too.
just makes sense.
I agree too. Kathy?
Yeah, I do as well. If we're committed to doing it, it makes sense to do it for such a small increase, to just go ahead and do the 2.
Okay.
It'll make us very forward looking. won't
Yes.
it?
And
I'll take,
I would just like to say, I agree with that, but Betty Sue, when would the paperwork have to be done then for the state?
I have absolutely no idea because as soon as I give the green light to this, EV Solutions takes it all over.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
great, great.
so I need a motion. Linda, second.
A second.
Thank you. Discussion, further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Oppose, abstain, passed.
I
Okay.
will contact EV Solutions tomorrow because I told him you were meeting tonight and a decision would be made. So thank you.
The next thing I had on here was IRS rate.
Mhm.
Do you know what the new rate is for this year?
It's 56 cents per mile. It's down 1.5 cents from 2020.
Yes, that you're trying to forget.
Yeah, because I think
In
we
2020, yes.
we have to make a motion for yes, Linda.
I'll make a motion.
Yes, thank you. Second, thank you, Gloria. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? Pass. Next on the schedule is website design.
Okay. Through her contacts with Leadership Orleans, Elizabeth went to an open house at, God help me, I can't remember the name of it now, what was the Pillars.
Pillars, yeah.
Yes. And they, in the course of discussion, they were saying they do web design. Now, web design has been on the board list since the day I started. And we've tried to reach out to people. I have checked with those who do library sites. They're expensive. And I don't like very many of them. I've told everybody that Lindenville had the cutest little site. And then they got this god awful thing they have now. And I think they paid like $3,000 for this thing. Anyway, the husband and wife team, whose names I can't remember right now, came and visited with us one afternoon. They wrote down anything and everything we could think of that we wanted, but we were looking for something that was cleaner, easier to follow, that had the correct keys for things like our YouTube channel and the databases and the whatever. And that's when they came up with this proposal. I did go in and look at some of their websites. Most of them are related to weddings because that's what they do. But they would be willing to work with us to design a website, and we would pay them the one-time fee, which is half of what they usually charge. I assume that's correct. And they will work with us until we get it right. And then it will be ours to maintain. And I've already talked to Elizabeth about, because she does the sign out front and the sign behind the desk. that she would become the website person. We all agreed that our posters are messy. And I can give you one more example. Is when Joyce sent me the latest site from her library in Washington, they had a brief little box that listed all of the online programming. Instead of trying to go through a calendar and find it all, it was a blue box with white writing that says upcoming online programming. And it was like, wow, this is clean, this is neat. And that was the feeling that I got from these people, that this is the kind of thing they would like to set us up for. So I could turn this over to a committee, but as they said, part of the reason that they would be willing to do this for half price is because this is a very slow time of year for them. They start getting geared up in March for the upcoming wedding season.
I tried pulling up their website, what you had sent, the florist, and I wasn't able to pull
Okay.
anything up.
It's not Flourish. It's at the bottom of the second page, I think. It's called, it says like, welcome to Flourish or something like that is the website. If I will find it tomorrow and send it to you.
Sounds good. But in the meantime, any feedback or comments? Because I was thinking the planning committee, this would be something. Yes, Linda.
I would just like to follow up what Betty Sue had said, because she had asked me about web design a while ago, and I said, we don't do anything with it. The people I know, it's very expensive. And if you're gonna have someone local and it's something that the library can easily do and update on their own, it's a pretty good offer, not knowing, you know, I looked at their Flourish site, and I think it'd be a great idea to get something started.
Yeah,
I think what we have.
I think if the planning committee, and you're on that planning committee, could meet with Betty Sue and flush out the details to bring back to the board so that we can get this up, because I think it's a great idea. Because the easier it is to navigate through the website, more people will go to it to find what they want and be happy. I know I like a clean site when I'm looking.
I will tell you that I would prefer, if at all possible, to make the motion and move forward this without going through planning, because there's not a whole lot I can tell you other than what we did. The information is going to come as we start working with them on it. And as Linda said, 1,500 is, most of the ones I was looking at were 3 to 5, and that was only for development.
Okay.
It's
Deb,
not a lot of money for the service we're asking for, and they are local,
Right.
and they want to be part of the community. And we even talked about some ideas for fundraising events moving
Debbie.
forward. So I think part of this is not just what we can get out of it for a website, but the relationship we might be able to develop for $1,500.
Right.
Yeah.
Debbie, you were going to say something.
Well, I used to do website design, so I would just at least like to see what their stuff looks like.
I will send the same thing to you then.
Thank you.
Okay, so what about, I propose that we make a motion that we tentatively have you move forward, and once everyone has seen it, they will send a yes to move forward. And if someone says, I'm not sure, then we hold off. But right now, what do you think?
That works for me.
Yeah. I just think we need an actual date, because when we're going to send yes to Betty Sue.
Yes, if you get it out to us, and we get, today is Wednesday, if you get it out to us on Thursday, we'll all take a look at it and send you back a yay or a nay. To say, yes, I'm in,
Yes.
move forward.
I agree.
Okay,
Okay?
Yep.
So the motion is that we will give approval to move forward pending the board sends a yes by Friday to approve the company Flourish. However that is. Is that it?
Yep, we'll make a
that's
motion.
it. I think you want in there that I'm going to send you information to go look at.
Yes. And also for you, once we look at it, we say yay or nay,
Yes.
so you can move
Yes.
forward and you don't have to wait a month to hear that.
Yep,
So-
yep,
Okay,
that works.
got it. Does everyone, okay. Motions on the table, second. Gloria, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Oppose? Pass. The one thing that I
Thank
had
you.
on there, go ahead. Was there something else, Betty Sue?
Nope.
The other
Nope.
thing I had on here, and this is old business, is where are you with Info Advantage? Have you made any?
I have never received the motions that were passed. So I didn't feel I could do anything until I knew what it was I was supposed to be doing.
Okay.
See, I
But
think
some-
that's part of breakdown of communication that we have had the last few months.
Yes,
But I really think so.
okay. So does anyone want to make a motion
do
to
what?
bid out?
You already made that motion.
We did.
Did it pass?
I have no
Yeah, it
idea.
did. It actually did pass.
I wasn't sure in the meeting minutes.
I thought it didn't, but if you look at the video,
The
it
Zoom,
did. There were enough people.
yeah, it passed. What month? Do you remember when that happened? Was it in November?
I think it was the November one.
Okay.
The one I wasn't invited to.
So it wasn't even in the minutes. Well, you know what happened? Yeah, that's.
I don't know what's in the minutes because I wasn't in the meeting. I
Right.
saw
You weren't.
motions, but I was really unclear about them.
Right.
Because
Well-
one of them, it looked like one of the two or three did not pass.
The one that did not pass was the one that said that there was a conflict of interest. That one didn't pass. I think, but to bid it out, that did pass.
Okay, can you give me an extra month on this by reviewing those and sending to me the exact things I'm supposed to work on here?
We'll have to look back. I'll have to look back at the, and give it to you
I
exactly.
wasn't told
It is,
anything.
it is my understanding that it wasn't until, I know I said you couldn't do it the end of December. I said, that's unreasonable. And I said, you can't do it by January. So I had said it has to be pushed back till February.
Well,
So,
the one thing I did talk to Terry about was that there is there are a variety of ways that it can be bid out. And that's why I wished he had let me come into the meeting, because I would have explained that we can bid out materials, computers, whatever. We can bid out the cloud services. Where I am most concerned is the difficulty in trying to bid out the what am I talking about? The tech services that are provided here, because I don't know how you even bid that. I don't know. How do you say, fix our computers when they go down by getting in on our screen and moving the mouse around until it's done? How do you say, hi, I've called up, we tried the one thing I know how to do, which is pull the plug out of the wall, wait 15 seconds, plug it back in and see if that works. The people that we have worked with at Info Advantage, and by that I mean primarily Tim seems to be our go-to tech guy. Mike can call him up and within minutes, he can say, okay, go get on this computer, do this, do that, boom, boom, boom. And we might get charged for 10 or 20 minutes worth of time. If we bid that out, we have to establish an entire new relationship, which is going to cost a lot.
Let's start by doing the things that are easy to bid out.
Okay.
That would be my suggestion, since that is already passed. And then for the part that because you establish new relationships all the time. This new Flourish thing, that is a new relationship that you feel comfortable with already. So to me, to say that we're not going to do it because we're comfortable and we have a working relationship, I understand. But by the same token, we establish new relationships all the time. And I think at this particular juncture, I would feel differently if there was no other company that could do this, but there are. If we get poor service, we always have the option to change. That's why people enter into contracts. The contracts still outline the service, and when you don't get service that you're expecting, you have a right to either break the contract or renegotiate the contract. I don't think that the board's motion was wrong. I think they were doing it in the best interest they felt. And maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I expect the group to say that to me. We're doing it in the best interest of the library. So for my part, I would expect you to bid it out. Unless someone else from the group would like to break it up, then speak now.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So, so if are we going to bid then apples to apples? And like the lawyer said, that we don't want to not do business if it doesn't make good fiscal sense, just because a person is on the board. So if, I mean, I don't know, I don't understand all of this, but if Linda's company also bid, and if they were a competitive bid and they were better because they answered all of our questions, would that be a, we wouldn't turn them down simply because Linda's on the board?
Can we ask for executive session? I'd like for someone to vote to go back in executive session. Could someone make a move to go into executive session? We're back in session. Is there any more new business? Okay. Concerns around the table. Betty Sue, we'll start with you.
Oh, God, you don't want me to say anything?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I'm okay.
It's okay. If they're your concerns, let's, put them out there. It gives us something to think about.
Okay. The one thing I would hope, and I do not see it a problem moving forward, but I have now dealt with two different companies two different businesses who both have told me, oh, I was told not to communicate with you. I can't even begin to tell you how upset I am, because one of them I found out today. I just want assurances that I don't think anybody in this particular room has any desire to do that, but it can't go on. I have been left flat-footed and not knowing which end was up and not being included in communication. I mean, when I finally had to call Greta, she said, "What do you mean you weren't told about anything?"
Right.
When it came to the insurance company, I was told, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was told all my communication was to go through the board president."
Okay.
And today I reached out to the architects for this building on a piece of advice. And he said, "What do you mean you didn't get the communications that I sent before?" He said, "Oh, yes, I just looked at them. I was told that they were only to go to the board president because he was the one moving this forward." So if you're thinking that I have done anything, I just want you to know that if you can go back and look at past meetings, most of my comments were, whether I liked it or whether I didn't, I was saying, just tell me what to do. I will do whatever you tell me to do. This is the first meeting where I have felt that I have a legitimate voice to tell you things from my aspect without getting shut out or criticized. I'm really upset, Gloria, that somebody sent out an email.
Yeah.
I'm real upset about that.
Yeah.
So that's it. I'm done. I want to put this whole episode behind us because
Exactly.
there's nothing good to come out of it.
Right.
Not a
And the
thing.
one thing that I have said to everyone here is I don't think on the other side of this counter, anybody knows what's going on. And the other thing is, I have felt that the people who have been in charge have always had the best interest of this library at heart until the most recent board president. And I spelled that out in my email to you all. And I'm just absolutely tickled. And I hope you think I've been smiling tonight because I feel like there's been a weight lifted. And I will do whatever you want me to. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And Gloria, you go next.
All right, I have a couple of things real quick. I did mention earlier the election and nominating committee that they need to schedule a meeting to start the process. And then last year, a meeting was held in January, and then a report was given at the February meeting to approve the election protocol. And I don't know if it's going to be the same like it was last year because we started the election protocol, but because of this pandemic, we had to move things out. So that's just something for the election committee to think about because they should be meeting and making a report at the February meeting. And I also, in regards to the personnel committee, we haven't met since the last board meeting. With everything that happened between the December board meeting until now, I was asked to wait until after tonight's meeting to schedule a personnel committee meeting. There's several issues on the table that have to be resolved immediately. We need to schedule a meeting as soon as possible. So I'm going to be reaching out to Kathy and Debbie to see what's the best time for them. My concern is the carryover of vacation and sick time from last year needs to still be addressed. We have to take into consideration that the library was closed for a period of time due to COVID. And employees, I feel the employees should not be penalized and should be allowed to carry over their time. But we have to decide how much will be vacation, how much will be sick. But I also feel that it is important, while Betty Sue is invited to all the meetings, but I feel that it's going to be important to have Barb there as well to help us so we know how much sick time and vacation time people have left. And also we have to consider staff raises. I know Betty Sue and I had talked and she's going to be working out some figures for us. I know last year, all full-time employees were given a 3% increase. And other employees, they were given 25 cents above minimum wage. So we have to resolve that immediately. And then as far as the paid family, Greta had recommended to Terry that the personnel committee, we should have a paid family leave policy in place. Okay, and I guess
Right.
after tonight, talking to Greta, that we're going to need to send her the final copy that was passed, I
Mhm.
think last month. So I don't know who would do that to make sure she gets the copy of that.
Gloria, as a chairman, I can give you her email, or you can send it to me and I will forward it to her.
Okay,
Or we can include it in a joint email with the members of the committee and Greta.
Let's make this simple. Forward it to Betty Sue
okay,
and
Okay.
your committee, and then because I
Okay.
think you can't have 50 people
No,
contacting a
know.
lawyer.
I agree.
Yep.
So it's
Okay.
because she has to see it anyway.
Yeah, and she has Betty Sue has a copy. I sent it to
Okay.
everybody. But yeah, I'll just resend it to you, Betty Sue, and we'll go
Yep.
from there. That,
Okay.
and that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Linda,
Sorry, I didn't realize it. No, I have nothing.
okay. Kathy,
I have nothing to add. Thank you.
Debbie,
I'm just getting sleepy. I'm sorry.
Me too.
You know what, the atmosphere just feels so much better. And
Oh,
I feel,
You're right.
yeah. So this was a really good meeting, Joyce. Thank you
Yeah.
for taking that president role and running with it.
well, first of all, I want to say thank all of you for trusting me with this, because I know we've had a rough patch, but our library is
Yep.
really, it's physically very beautiful, and the community that comes in here and uses it, treats it with such respect
Mhm.
that it makes it so nice to be a part of a body that wants to move the library forward. Now, my concern is that I'm going to be contacting people in the executive, the president, well, myself, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, so that we can have a meeting before February. Because from my understanding, I don't think the executive group has met
Mm-mm.
before. And I do think that information should not be hidden, that if we have issues or concern, we definitely should bring them forward because it makes it so much easier to deal with. And you all, everyone is so strong. I feel like anyone can do this job with the right support. And I feel like the right support is here in this room. And that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say thank you all very much. And I hope that I can be supportive for the mission of the library. And I just wanna say one thing. I know normally people start off the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I think Kevin's the one that he didn't do it, right? I want to start off each one of our meetings just by reading the mission statement, just the mission statement, so that everyone knows why we're here. It's not for any one individual, it's for the community that we serve. And that's all that I have, unless someone else has something else. I'd like to entertain a motion to dismiss. Linda, thank you. Second,
Second,
Debbie,
always
you.
Debbie.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Again, thank you, everyone, and good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.